Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I want to welcome you to Crate Diggers Weekly Raid Train, and I am so glad to be a part of this. Yes, I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on this afternoon. I appreciate the opportunity to come and be a part of this marvelous raid train that is hosted by DJ Cut 'em Close. I want to say good afternoon to the Rebel Inc. I see you out there, my sister. Come on, Galactic Supervisor. Yes, that is my moderator extraordinaire. I appreciate you so much. And as I say, if you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit your wicked ways, because she will bless your whole life. I also want to thank you, sis, for, I know that because we adjusted the streaming on today, you let your stream go this morning, and I want to appreciate you for that and staying on board to help us in the moderation duties. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, there she is, Anti-Morning Bangos, as well as the cracks. I'm telling you, she will have you cracking up. I see Dr. Danny Priest. I got tickled because I saw "Quit Your Wicked Ways" and I got sidetracked. Shelly Thunder. Dr. Danny Priest, the high priestess, is in the house on this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, high priestess. And of course, there she is, y'all. There she is. You better ask somebody. She's in the house. Shelly Thunder. She's in the house, y'all. Shelly Thunder. I'm so glad to have you here. That is my prophetess. That is another of the moderators here in the Lion's Den. So much love to you on today. You are precious to my soul. It's just so good to see you. It's just so good to see you. Come on in here, and I appreciate all that you do in the Lion's Den. Well, there is the Archbishop. He's in the house, y'all. He's in the house. None other than One Reason, the Archbishop of Twitch. I really want to tell you, if you are not following the Archbishop of Twitch, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways. He will bless your whole life. This is my brother. I love him. I appreciate him. He is just a whole blessing to everybody. I can't just say to me. He's a whole blessing to everybody, and we appreciate you. There's my brother, KB Browns. Come on in the room, KB. Yes, yes, yes. We always have that talk. We always have that conversation about that orange apparition. And one of these old days, that's what they preach in the pulpit. One of these old days, we gonna get rid of that man once and for all. But in the meantime, KB Browns, we just gonna keep holding steady. We just gonna rock steady, baby. Rock steady. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, I am back. I am back on this afternoon with DJ Cut 'em Close. Had to get that in my head. DJ Cut 'em Close. Crate Diggers Weekly Raid Train, and we're in here today in honor and paying attention and homage and information to breast cancer this October. It's the month, y'all, and we want to make sure that everybody gets as much information as they can about breast cancer. Early detection, it's a key, y'all. It's a key. Early detection. Please do it. LaWanda Baskerville, miracles, signs, and wonders. She's in the room, y'all. Wanda Visions, good afternoon to you, my sister. So much mad love coming to you. She is also a streamer and a moderator extraordinaire. Please go out there. Come on. The bat signal was received. I appreciate you, sis. I appreciate you. You support everywhere you can, and I appreciate you for that. And that's not isolated. That is not an isolated incident. That's what you do with everybody. And for that, I just want to appreciate you. You are so beautiful. M Control 1, 2, 3. Come on in here and hello to you. Come through. I still want to appreciate you and applaud you for your daughter. And listen, daughter couldn't be where she is if parents hadn't been in there. Come on, parents. Come on, parents. For you, M Control. We applauded your daughter this morning, but I want to applaud you and your lovely spouse for making it happen for your daughter. I just love it. I love it. I love it. Coming on down, I see SK8843. You better come on in here, my sister. That's my for real sister, and I love her for real. Coming on down, and I'm looking at anybody else that's in the chat this afternoon. And I know this is normally not our time to stream, but we're in here once more and again. DJ Cut 'em Close, our visionary for this raid train, Crate Diggers, and the weekly raid train. He wanted to have time devoted to the topic of breast cancer and breast cancer awareness. And for that, DJ Cut 'em Close, we appreciate you. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for even thinking of me to include and ask me to be a part of this awesome raid train. Now, y'all know how we get this party started. You know how we get this party crack-a-lacking. You know how we bring it. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black. So as we get into conversation on today, I just want to share a little bit, and then we're going to go. Y'all get ready. Hold on to your weave. Hold on to your wig, because we're going to leave from here and go see Dr. Dady Priest. Yes, that's the high priestess. We're going to leave from the Lion's Den and go straight to Dr. Dady Priest. And I don't know about you, but I just can't wait. I cannot wait, because she always has something good for us, because engagement matters. Now, listen, I'm going to stop and digress just for a minute. Don't you let the rebel throw you off. Don't you let the rebel throw you off. Dr. Dady Priest is the originator. Dr. Dady Priest is the creator. Dr. Dady Priest is the creator of Engagement Matters. Don't let rebel throw you off. Don't let her throw you off. Listen, because listen, at the end of the day, let me tell you what. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I love me some Rebel Inc. But when it comes to her stealing folks' stuff, could it be? The devil? Baby, now that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. I just want you to be clear, because she keeps trying to get Dr. Dady Priest and Engagement Matters, and she just keeps trying to get. So I just want y'all to be clear. She is the originator. That's what Little Richard said. He is the originator. He is the creator. Them people came and stole his stuff and didn't even use no Vaseline. That's what Richard said. Now, as we go on and as we move on in here, I just want to have a little conversation on this afternoon. We're talking about breast cancer, and I want us to know that, as we're having this conversation together, I am appreciative for all of those that are working in the field, to all our healthcare workers, to all of our doctors, for all the technicians, to those of you that have taken this journey and gone through it, for those that have been the support of those that have been on the journey. So much mad love to you. I want you to know we appreciate you. We absolutely, positively do. So much love, so much love. Now, I want to, and in honor of those whose lives were taken, but this is the one thing I want us to take away, even in these days and times. It's no longer, as so many have thought in days gone by, a death sentence. Early detection, I'm gonna keep saying that over and over during this 1 hour that I have you. Early detection is a key. Rebel is talking about derailing a whole train tomorrow. Now, see, the spirit is that I just want you to know, if you're not able to discern on your own, that is not the right spirit. Rebel, that is not, I'm telling you, I repeat once more and again, that is not the right spirit to come in premeditated derailing of the train. I just want you to know, sis. I just want you to know. Come on, get it together. So as we come on up, you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, Dr. Dady Priest? That is not the right spirit. My niecey is here. Come on in here, Ronzi, in it for fashion. So good to see you on this afternoon, sis. Mad love to you, and thank you for joining us for, once again, Crate Diggers Weekly Raid Train today that we're devoting to breast cancer and breast cancer awareness. Early detection is the key. Come on in here, Nancy Jackson. Good to see you. It's been a minute. T-Love 1970. Come on in here. So much mad love to you. Welcome to the Lion's Den. Now, as we get ready to get started, I can tell you a little bit from my own personal experience. Obviously, there is a lot to deal with and a lot of feelings and emotion that goes along with should you find that lump. And I'm going to keep saying early detection is the key. And there is that place. I understand you're at work, T-Love. Thank you for just coming in and listening and auditing with us. Go ahead and lurk and work. So much love coming to you. I appreciate you holding the space. So as we talk about that, I can share my own experience. I have the scar to prove it, if you will. Yes, I was one of those that found a lump. And there's nothing, absolutely positively nothing wrong with checking out your body, making sure. And I want to say to you, know your body. Don't be afraid of your body. Don't be afraid of knowing what's going on and checking out different things that you see, different things that you feel. I was one of those that did the breast exam, and we found a lump. And I went through the process of going to the doctor. And initially they were concerned that maybe it was just a cyst. So, they did where they take the needle and they stick it in, because a cyst is going to have fluid in it. And the size of it, they were like, that's probably a cyst. So at the end of the day, after we had come to the realization after they did the needle and absolutely nothing came out of it, that I was going to have a deeper scenario happen on that lump. So I did go through a lumpectomy, and praise be to God, the scenario was that at end of day, it was not malignant. It was just a benign tumor that was there in my left breast, and they did a surgical procedure to remove it. Now, I will say, I was one of those, and I don't know about you guys, but I was one of those for the ladies that may have gone through this. And of course, we know there is a small percentage of men that also get breast cancer as well. So we want you to be just as diligent in your checking. But I was one of those. I signed the paperwork from the beginning. And I said, if it is malignant or if there is any need for you to take the breast, I signed all of that at Jump Street, and they will do that. You can, at least at the hospital where I was cared for, you could do that. So, that whole anticipation of what's going to happen and what are they going to find, how is this going to play out, that can, I understand, really play on your mind as you're in that waiting period, trying to understand what's going on. And then I can only imagine, but was prepared. And that was my thing. I basically mentally prepared myself that if I am in a situation where they come back and tell me we need to take this breast, when I signed that paper and told them in the process, go ahead and do that. You don't even have to, let's do what we need to do. But yet and still, there's that anticipation that's still there. K2 Hoop, good afternoon. I see you in the room. So much mad love coming to you. But as it would be, I was blessed to walk away with just the scar and a lump removed, a rather large lump removed from my breast. But at the end of the day, I do want you to know it was such a relief to go ahead and find out what was going on. And I think sometimes, particularly we as women, particularly we as Black women and constant caregivers, we will take care of everybody else. But sometimes we'll notice little things that are going on in our bodies, or we'll notice little things that are not right. And we'll have a tendency to do the let me wait and see, or we'll come up with all types types of scenarios as to why we won't act on it at that particular time. I got so many other things that I got to do right now. I'm taking care of my mate, my significant other. I'm taking care of my job. I'm taking care of the children. I'm taking care of all of these things when I really want us to start throttling back and make sure that you take care of yourselves. Please, please, please throttle back and make sure that you take care of yourselves, because early detection is the key. I'm just going to keep saying that because it's so critical. Now, even in that, I'm going to use actually Roan is an organization, an entity that is heavy off into health and healthcare, and they're working, and one of the things that they really are striving for is to create particularly for women of color, because we are definitely still in that place where we're struggling to actually get equality and good health care. There is disparity still there. There is that issue of still having to, sometimes even with medical personnel, just getting them to listen to us. Don't come in here trying to tell me with the preconceived idea, this, that, and the other. Don't try to medicate away. I need you to listen to me. And I want to say this to you, everybody, but especially to my sisters. Please, 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 and you've heard me say this before in the Lion's Den, be assertive about your health care. Do not just let them run away as a runaway freight train. Please, please, please be assertive about your health care. Don't allow things that are there to just be blown off as if it's nothing. You're blowing up something bigger than what it is. Please, please, please be aggressive and assertive about your health care. Nancy, I see you talking. You are a cancer group. You are in a cancer group at KUCC, and a lot more men are being diagnosed with breast cancer than before. Unfortunately, they're passing because of the stigma attached to it being called breast cancer instead of chest cancer. And I hear you on that. DJ Cut 'em Close, good evening to you. Yes, the host and the creator of the hour is here, a streamer. I want you all to please go out and follow my brother, and thank you once more and again for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this raid train. I am just absolutely ecstatic and happy to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're not following DJ Cut 'em Close, quit your wicked ways. Go on out there and follow my brother and let him bless you real good. Now, Nancy, you're saying a whole mouthful there, and you are absolutely correct. There are a lot of men that do not want to have breast cancer associated with them. Interestingly enough, I know 5 different black males in Kansas City that I was close to, their family, their spouses more so, because we all worked together. And interestingly enough, they all had chest cancer. And so it was quite a thing when we had Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and they would go to the different events and they would share about their journey as chest cancer survivors. But understanding that it deals with that breast tissue. And so as you come into the realities, my brethren, that your tissues have the same potential to experience cancer as your female counterparts. And there's no shame in it. And I know, as Nancy has said, this whole idea of the difference between saying breast versus chest, the stigmas that we've created in this country towards different terms and the way those terms are used. I hope and I wish that at some point we could get this to a place where those stigmas dissolve away and we can embrace it is what it is. Always, I tell people sicknesses and diseases in your body are not your fault. So many people go through places where they feel different emotions in a negative way about times as they have journey with illnesses that come and afflict their bodies. I know, and I'm gonna say this, I know that some that are from very traditional and staunch religious backgrounds, it's almost like, and if you get it, let me deal with this because I'm your spiritual thought leader, and you know how I do it in here in the Lion's Den. We take this coffee, no cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because I tells it like a T-I-Z-T-is. Thank you for liking the stream, Nancy. I appreciate that. So for those of you that have come from potentially backgrounds as I, listen, you don't have lack of faith because you have an illness or a disease, and you do not have lack of faith. Thank you, DJ Cut 'em Close. I appreciate those gifted subs. I appreciate you, sir. So much love coming to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And T Love 1970, welcome to the Lion's Den family. So, you know, so many times, some of us, and when we start thinking about why are we so reluctant to go ahead and seek treatment, and it may not be as prevalent now as it was back in the day, but again, that depends on the faith tradition that you come from. But in my day, I can remember my grandmother who did not have breast cancer, but she had stomach cancer, and it ended up growing completely out of her rectum. But at the point in time that it was detected in an earlier stage, she refused to have any treatment because it was very, very emphatically stated on her point and on her part, I believe God. And I just want to address that from the spiritual standpoint. Baby, believe that God has given the people and the doctors the knowledge that you need to help heal your body. Because at the end of the day, if God doesn't heal you by whatever means God chooses, you will not be healed. But the idea that there is lack of faith, the idea that there's something wrong with my belief in God to stand firm on the word of God, that I'm going to be healed. Now, you know, I don't challenge anybody on your faith. If you believe that's what God told you, so be it. I'm not going to argue with you. However, I do want you to understand there is nothing wrong. There is absolutely positively nothing wrong with seeking medical attention. And for my grandmother, unfortunately, as the case was, by the time it had grown and literally, I'm not saying this in exaggeration, literally had grown out of her rectum, it was too late. Do not, and I'm going to keep saying it, early detection is the key. And once they find it, please, please, please do what you need to do to go through the treatment. Now, again, I'm still telling you to be assertive, because does that mean just lay down and let folks have their way with your body? Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Know as much as you can. Try to find out, learn, absorb, talk to other breast cancer survivors, talk to other people that are walking that journey, talk candidly with your doctor and your healthcare professional. Don't be that one that sits there and allows them to come in and throw all this jargon at you, words that you don't even understand, but you're not saying, hey, wait a minute, what are you saying? Explain that, break that thing down. Don't be intimidated. Don't be shy. It's your life and it's your body. I want you to be as assertive as you possibly can be. I'm happy to see that, K2 Hoop, that your grandmother is a survivor. Listen, I want to give kudos to all of the survivors that are in the room. I really, really do. Come through. Because if anything, I want you to understand that survival is higher and better now than it's ever been. So again, I want you, as you're addressing your own health care and your health care plans, please be as engaged. Engagement matters. That's what I'm gonna say. Dr. Dady, I'm not gonna do like Rebel. I'm not gonna steal it from you, but I just want to say engagement matters. Be as engaged in your care as you possibly can be. If you are a support for someone that's close to you, if you are a support to a close family member, I'm gonna say it once more and again, as Dr. Dady Priest says, Engagement matters. So please do not become invisible like my morning archbishop. One reason, don't be invisible. Take up space. That's what we talked about this morning in DJ D-Man's. Take up space. Do not shrink into the woodwork, because again, it's your life, it's your treatment, it matters. So do not feel any way intimidated. Don't be shy. Don't draw away. It's your body. So as we come to that point, as I said, Roche is a company that is really at this particular time launching out, and they're trying to do something in the way of care and breaking down the wall that currently is a wall of disparity, particularly for women of color and minorities in their health care. So I want to just kind of, and I'm taking this from Roche.com, ROCHE.com, for anybody that would like to go out and look at it. This is not my proprietary or my original information. I just tried to draw from somewhere that I could share those that have already done the research and the information and share with you. So as we look at what's going on, as they're trying to do life-changing improvements for women, and particularly minority women throughout the globe, I thought this was a good place to start. Women's health is very easy to get passionate about, but as we know, many times women have a challenge, first and foremost, just showing up to see about ourselves. I hope if that's you, I hope that you will take the words that I'm saying on today into serious consideration. You've got to see about yourselves. Now, I said it earlier, we really are, and they used a particular term in here that I really liked. You are the chief medical officers. That's what they called women. Chief medical officers for your family. But you're chief medical officers for everybody, your husband, your children, your parents, your whoever you have care of, in charge of. If you're like me, where you don't have any children, but you end up being a caregiver for many others that you're close to because of that singlehood status that you carry, understand you end up being that chief medical officer for all these individuals, but you've got to show up for yourselves. That's first and foremost. You've got to show up for yourself. Make sure that you go through and do whatever you have to do. Yes, you're the pillar of the economics. You're the pillar of all of the things that hold the family and the community, your job, whatever else together. But I need you to be your own pillar. I need you to be your own pillar and show up for you. The next thing that they started talking about was changing the narrative around breast cancer, where we don't see that automatically mentally as some sort of death sentence and very negative experience to walk through. So they talk about, definitely, when you find yourself, should you find yourself, even as myself, we started having conversations, even though I had a lump, and even once we knew it was not a cyst, once we knew there was no fluid in there, and once we knew that there's a potential that this outcome could be very different than maybe I wanted it to be, we started having conversations about, not only did I sign the paperwork, if you need to go ahead and take the breast while I'm in there, we're not going to do 2 surgeries, just do it all at once. But also the conversation about what it looks like to survive, what it looks like if, and if it were a diagnosis of breast cancer. Let's talk about how we're going to live with it after we do whatever we do, even to the extreme of if we need to remove this breast tissue. I thought, and this is honestly my feeling, I thought that the idea of talking forward about survival and what survival would look like and the changes, whether it was, we're talking about childbearing, we're talking about, whatever else that deals with my how I feel about my body. We talked about so many different things that said to me, if this were the worst case scenario, we're having conversation as a person that's going to survive. That is so key, you guys. That is so key. I need you to approach, even if you find yourselves personally in that situation, or if you're supporting someone else that's a loved one, a cared one, I need you to approach it with that mentality. Let's have a conversation about survival. Let's have a conversation that revolves around we are hopeful. We are hopeful. And that's with any cancer, any disease. We are hopeful rather than that flip side where we just automatically, oh my God, everything. And listen, if you're coming at me with that kind of energy, if I'm going through something, miss me with that. That's all I can say. Miss me with that. And Michelle Brownell, the perfect person to have in here. Michelle Brownell is my quiet storm. She is the, nurse practitioner. Maybe gonna be a doctor. I don't know what Michelle's gonna end up being in the medical field. One thing I can tell you, she is the healing whisperer. I can tell you that. Michelle is the perfect person to have in here because she sees this on a daily and she is gifted and skilled at what she does. Come on in here. So I want you to have that idea. If that's you or if that's your loved one that finds themselves in that situation, this is a purpose, a concept that they're purposely putting out. Start changing the narrative and your mindset toward breast cancer. Change that mindset and change that narrative and begin to have conversation from the perspective of a survivor. Have that conversation, not as a breast cancer victim, but a breast cancer victor, a tor, not a Tim. So much of this has to do with how your mind deals with a thing. And that goes back to that spirituality. If I can interject that piece right there, spirituality, how you deal with it in your mind, how you deal with it in your emotions. So much of that has to do with your outcome. If you sit down and woe is me and I'm out of here, I ain't gonna make it, guess what? You ain't gonna make it. But I'm trying to impress on your minds, create the fruit of your lips. What are your lips saying? What is your mouth speaking? You understand what the mindset, the way that you approach that thing makes all the difference in the world. So they have found that to be a very key and critical point right now. How and what is your narrative that you're talking about your breast cancer? So come on. I see you, Nancy. This is true. Literal. Let me read from this side because my eyes are failing. Literal and figurative survivorship of physical and mental health starts in the mind. And I really want to tell you, thoughts determine our outcome for real, KB Browns. Thoughts. As a person, y'all better talk in here. That's why I like the Lion's Den, because y'all come in bringing it hot every time. As a person thinks in his heart, so is he. I don't know how many of you, and it's not necessarily breast cancer, but I want to come with this idea of thought, and I got to keep my time right, because you know preachers just get to talking and we don't know when to shut up. But I think about, if any of you saw The Secret, there's a man in that documentary that talks about how he went through a horrific accident. They said he'd never walk again. They said he'd never, just over and over. Everything was bad. He told those people, I reject all of that. I will be walking by Christmas. And that man talks about how he set his mind, he set his energies, he set his determination, he set his push. Everything was toward that spoken word, I will be walking by Christmas. And y'all already know the outcome. By Christmas, even though he had a severed spine, I think it was, if any of you remember from The Secret, I believe he had a severed spine. By the end of it all, that brother had determined in his mind, and he just kept pushing. He kept pushing. When they would take him to the bars and tell him to practice the walk, and so many times it looked like it was not going to be, but he just kept pushing. So at the end of the day, I just want us to have that kind of determination and to get your mind in that state, to get your mind in that place. And then I want you to just never give up. Again, as a man thinks in his heart, we can come to a place where we just begin to move and everything in us. I'm gearing it. This is my goal, whatever it takes. And man, when he talked about some of those days and how much pain and how grueling it was, but he had a vision of where he wanted to be. I want us to take this same concept with all of your health care. I want you to take this same concept. And again, let's flip the script on breast cancer. What is your narrative and how are you approaching it? Now, I looked and I put this back because it's 4:36 and I want to make sure we get over to Dr. Dady's on time. I put this back in my Discord for anybody that wants to look at it. I took it from here. I took it from this site. You can go out and you can see it in my Discord, or you can go to Roche, ROCHE.com. It talks about how in Africa, they are talking, and as was said, and I didn't know this, in Swahili, there's no word for cancer. So I read that. And I watched that as they were talking, and I said, because it's not something that they have had in their language. They just do not envision it. And as the lady was saying, it's hard for us to even wrap our minds around cancer, but now they are getting cancer. So they had to include a new word in their dictionary, in their language, to even address cancer. But she was saying, and even at that, we still can't really grapple with that in our minds. I thought that was just mind blowing. I thought that was just mind blowing that you have a group of people that up until recent times had not even a word for cancer in their language. So I watched that. Go out there and look. It's about 18 minutes long. I was going to play the first 4 minutes of that, especially through the segment where they were talking about, because that was something that was foreign to them. But now they're dealing with it at a totally different level and having to learn about cancer. I thought that was just most intriguing. And then they were also bringing in the points of how many people in the villages at this point in time still, especially the women, are going untreated. Go out and take a look at that. Anybody that likes those kinds of documentaries. It was very interesting, Ronzi. I sat there and I was like, what? I just never had it crossed my mind that you're talking about a whole group of people that don't even have a word for cancer in their language and had to recently make one up. That just blew me away. But what it also said to me on the flip side of that coin is, when you are out there and you're connected to the ground, when you're out there and you're not eating a bunch of additives, when you're out there and you're not dealing with all of the pollutants that we deal with in this country, and you're out there and you're getting exercise and you're active and you're all of these other things, hey, it's just not something that attacks your body like we have over here. So I thought that was just absolutely beautiful. But then this is the challenge now, to get them into a place where they will actually take care of themselves, especially the women of that country. So I thought that of those tribes, I thought that was most interesting. I was oblivious to that. I promise you, I was absolutely positively oblivious to that. I found that conversation. They had villagers in the town. Again, it's in my Discord if you want to go out and see it. I'm not going to show it right now for sake of time, because we going to Dr. Dady Priest. I'm not going to share it right now for the sake of time, but I want you, if you are interested in that kind of a topic, go out and check that out, because it was really, really very interesting. So they're trying to work and empower people at the core and say, hey, let's go ahead and get out here and do something about cancer and get people engaged. Now, this is the way I want to start. I want to end because I want to be on time to Dr. Dady Priest and her stream. This was some interesting information, and I don't know if some of you have already heard it or seen it before, but I wanted to come here because I'm always looking for something that's just a little bit different. And if you've seen it already, hey, ride with me once more and again, and just endure hardness as a good soldier till I get done with it. Because this is what I'm going to talk about to close us out. Okay. From nuns to night shift, 8 interesting facts about breast cancer. So come on, Ronzi. I'm just in here for a moment. I promise you, if you follow me over to Dr. Dady Priest, she's gonna bless your whole life. I promise you, she will. Fact number 1 is that breast cancer has been called the nun's disease because of the high number of nuns that have been affected by breast cancer. I thought that was absolutely astonishing. I had never thought of that. I don't know if any of you all had ever heard that before. If that's something you're like, oh yeah, I already knew that. I already heard that. I cannot say that it was something that I personally had heard. And they said lifelong nuns, like women who never have children, have an increased risk of dying from breast, ovarian, and uterine cancers compared with mothers. Who knew? As a woman's risk of getting these cancers all increase with the number of menstrual cycles that she experiences. Now listen, I'm gonna tell you, DJ Cut 'em Close, and anybody else in here, I ain't mad about not having menstrual cycles. Miss me with that. If that's the case, I'm gonna get breast cancer. No, now I ain't speaking this over my life. I'm being funny here. I'm gonna get ovarian and uterine cancer because listen, if it's all about the menstrual cycle, no ma'am, no sir. I'm so glad that it's gone. K2 Hoop, listen. No, listen, wait. Let me get it. Let me cue it up. If it revolves around your number of menstrual cycles, miss me with that. Now, this is some research and some study that they've come up with, and I'm telling you, bring Eve to me. She cursed us all. Ronzi, you just want to get her hands on her. You with me, Rebel? I'm trying to tell y'all. Yes, we hate it, but the hormonal changes help to protect us. Come on, Michelle. I told y'all we had the right one in the room. Girl, you're talking sense and you're talking truth, but I'm not trying to hear the facts. I'm not, Michelle. I'm not trying to hear the facts. Those hormonal changes might be protecting me, but when my hormones moan, baby, when my hormones are moaning, and I got to deal with all of that comes along with that menstrual cycle. Woo! I'm trying. Oh, I'm gonna give it to you. Who is that? One reason. Could it be? The devil. That was the devil's way of getting Eve back. Do you hear me? The devil said, I got something for you. You got me out here crawling around on my belly. Well, here's one for you, Eve, every month. Every so many days. Take that, you heathen. Take that. And Diablo and his twin brother Beelzebub. Baby, they came out like gangbusters. Do you hear me? They came out like gangbusters. But as Michelle Brownell has so eloquently said, those hormones protect you. So, wait a minute. He said, take that, Shelly Thunder. Take that. And he laughed all the way as he slithered off. Because he knew y'all was about to be miserable. He knew y'all was about to listen. He knew y'all was really in for it. And at the end of the day, he sure didn't lie. He sure didn't lie. So, that for the nuns, hey, it is what, mercy, Ronzi, mercy. And that's what some of y'all be saying when them cramps hit you just right. Mercy, mercy. Ooh, but it is. And it is there, and it does protect your body, as Michelle said. Baby, it'll have you singing. I see you. Y'all got me dying. Baby, it will have you speaking in other tongues. For all of y'all that have to curl up, for those of you that got to get the hot water bottle and the heating pad and the my doll and the your doll and everybody's doll, my doll, your doll, his doll, their doll, everybody's doll. Some of y'all got it just that bad. And so my prayers go out to you. But understand, yes, as I said, it is, please believe it. There's Fairly All Day. There's my dearest friend. Come on in here. For those of you that got my doll, your doll, his doll, everybody's doll, y'all know what that monthly is like. So again, this idea that it's called the nun's disease, there you have it. And Michelle explained to you exactly why it is. Now, fact number 2, and I gotta hurry up and get out of here, y'all. You know I got to be on time for Dr. Danny Priest. Number 2, y'all. Fact 2, breast cancer occurs in both dogs and cats, and it tends to be far more aggressive in cats. Who knew? Breast cancer occurs in both dogs and cats, and it tends to be far more aggressive in cats. Now, the thing that it said there is that dogs actually get it more frequently, but cats get it much more aggressively. So listen, not only yourself, but some of y'all that love your pet, you might need to just go ahead and make sure that you get whatever checkups you need to have so that you can take care of your pet as well, because dogs and cats are also susceptible to breast cancer. Now, I just thought, hey, I thought that was an interesting fact. And I was like, okay, I see that. Now, this one right here, I just don't know what to say. Wasp dung. Wasp dung was used as a treatment for breast cancer. I said, wait a minute. I said, wasp dung was used as a treatment for breast cancer. Baby, please, who's out there gathering up wasp dung? Who is out there gathering up, Shelly Thunder, I see you. Who is out there gathering up wasp dung? Insect feces featured heavily in ancient remedies for breast cancer. Y'all, ain't you glad you living today? Ancient remedy for breast cancer. An Egyptian papyrus recommended. Now listen, this is the mixture, y'all. I see you, Lawanda. This is the mixture. Cow's brain, wasp dung, to be applied to the breast tumor for at least 4 days. Well, fairly, if it works. Wasp dung and cow's brain to be applied to the breast tumor and the cancer for at least 4 days. Well, has that been tested today? I don't know. Maybe we need to check it out. Maybe we need to see, do we need to go back to the cow's brain and the wasp dung? Who gets wasp? In all my life, I've been in the country. I've seen wasps. I've seen wasp nests. I've seen everything that you can imagine out there in the country. I've never, wasp dung, tall pumps, dung, D-U-N-G. In other words, sugar, honey, ice, and tea. That's what they were using in the ancient times. Now, as we come on down this list, y'all, coming on down this list, the first record of a mastectomy offered for a breast cancer was over 1,500 years ago. Isn't that something? Over 15. Now, with that being said, I can only imagine how crude that mastectomy was done. In my mind, that woman got butchered. That's all I can say to that. That woman got butchered. No, it ain't wasp peen. It's not wasp peen. It's wasp poop. Tall pumps. It's wasp poop. You got peen on the mind. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that one for another day. I see what you got on your mind. It's wasp poop. Tall pumps is pumping tall. Anyway, so we understand this. This is what an elite, the first record of a breast mastectomy was in AD 548 when Theodora, Empress of Byzantine, 548 had the first recorded mastectomy. And I would venture to say, again, that probably was a whole butchered mess. I'm sure it was as crude as the C-sections performed that killed the mama and saved the babies. I have no doubt. I have no doubt on that, Shelly Thunder. So, you know, your question is, who was out there gathering? That's what I wanted to know. Who's out there gathering the wasp poop? DJ cut him close. Who's out there gathering up the wasp poop? Inquiring minds want to know. Now, get to fact number 5 because it's time to get to my sister's stream. Fact number 5 is something that I think, as Nancy has already come in and shared, we are aware in these days and time that men get breast cancer too. A man's lifetime risk of breast cancer, or as Nancy mentioned, many are advocates for using the term chest cancer instead of breast cancer because of the stigma that some men have when you say breast. But breast or chest, men get breast cancer or chest cancer about 1 in 1,000. So again, I want to definitely take the time to encourage my brothers. Listen, go out there, get yourself checked out. It's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing embarrassing. It's not taking anything away from your masculinity in any way, shape, or form. It's just a safe thing to do. Now, this little fact right here, fact number 6, breast cancer is more common in the left breast than the right. And I guess statistics are showing that. And I, as a person, like I said, you look on my left breast, there's my scar on that left breast. When I looked at that, I said, things that make you go, what is it going on with that left breast? I don't know. And so why is it more common in that left breast? I don't know, but my tumor definitely grew in my left breast. So when I read that little fact, I was like, interesting. Never would have thought of it. Never would have imagined it. It says that the left breast is 5 to 10% more likely to develop a cancer than your right breast. The left side of the body is roughly 5% more prone to melanoma. The left side of the body. Did you hear that? The left side of the body is more prone to melanoma, which is a type of skin cancer. And nobody is exactly sure why this is the case. I thought that was interesting too, Michelle. I thought that was, but I know for my own self, as I said, I got the scar on that left breast to prove it. Mine was definitely a left breast situation and my right breast was fine. So, you know, who knows? Who knows? That I thought was very, very interesting. And I was like, wow, who knows? I'm gonna come on down. And this is the last one I want to deal with. Most women survive breast cancer, at least in most developed countries. And how we're going to wrap this up as we get ready to go to Dr. Dady Priest. Early detection. I told you I'm going to just keep saying it over and over and over and over again. Early detection is so critically, so vitally important. Find out what's going on with your body. pay attention to any of the symptoms, any of the signals, any of the signs. And I'm sure some of the others have probably or will address all the signs and the symptoms. Spiritual thought leader, I just got to be a little bit different. I just got to go, my flow's got to be just a little different than everybody else's. So I didn't want to go down that path. I wanted to do something just a little bit different. And I thought that these, again, this is all from the Roche Foundation, ROCHE. If you want to go out there and look it up, they have so many studies, they have so many different things that are out there. As I said, I put that about Africa and the tribes in Africa and cancer. I put that in my Discord. If you want to go out there and check it out, please, please, please do go out there and check that out. It's about an 18-minute video, and you can watch it through to its entirety and take that information and take it and run with it. I'm so glad, DJ Cut 'em Close, that you have given us this time and this space to really, really come in today in the month of October and highlight breast cancer and breast cancer awareness. Now, listen, I'm the only one, as I told you, when we get here, the dating rate, prepared to do today. Thank you everybody that I hope you all of this good. We have got priest, DJ, is going to close us out tonight. Thank you. Mad love to you, and I love you. I love you. I love you. Now, so everyone, the music was too loud. I'm so sorry. I didn't even know the music was playing. So I apologize for that. I want to, listen, it's my honor. It's my honor to be here, DJ Cut 'em Close. And I hope I did you justice on what you were desiring to put together in this raid train. I absolutely, positively love you all. Yes, I do. And y'all know how we get out of here. I do my little outro because that's just me. That's my signature. That's how I get up out of here. And my moderators are going to take us, and we're going to fly on over to Dr. David Priest, and she'll be ready, willing, and able to give you a blessing about breast cancer. Thank you once more and again to all of you all. I see you, KB Browns. No anesthesia back then. Listen, I can only imagine. Lord Jesus, take me to the King. Well, I feel for my brother. And I feel for my sister. This has been another edition of Yes You O Cube. We just happen to be on Crate Diggers Weekly Raid Train. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for holding space. Thank you all for showing your love. I appreciate you. You can follow me out there on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, Discord, and more. And listen, at the end of the day, you know the mantra that we always have in the Lion's Den. We're not fearful. We're not intimidated. We got power. We got love and a sound mind, and we're all powerful in love. And as we talk about breast cancer, we talked about it in DJ D-Man's stream this morning. Hopefully some of these young babies that are coming on, they are about to be the ones that are going to find the cure and bring us to a place of wholeness and healing. If we want that change to happen, we got to be the change. And we're not in this by ourselves, y'all. It's us, you, me, we all. And once more and again, I appreciate you all for holding space here in the Lion's Den. Please ride the raid train to Dr. Davey Priest. Please ride that raid train. And you know how I say, do what you love, love what you do. Peace for your journey.
And everything that I said never seemed to get into your head. I tried to do the right thing, living my life with the words that I sing. Now tell me, I wanted to know what happened to my best friend. As days